Good evening. You're watching the 7 o'clock news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The OPEC and non-OPEC member countries stress the need for reducing oil production in their meeting in Muscat. Scouts and Guides Commission in the Governorate of Muscat obtains first place in the Grand Scout Cup. The history of Oman dates back to more than 5,000 years BC as a trade center between the ancient civilizations. More than 700,000 vehicles are recalled in the past 5 years due to manufacturing defects. And the first electric cars charging station is inaugurated in Sohar. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, organized the 7th meeting of the Joint Ministerial Monitoring Committee. The meeting came up with various decisions and recommendations to ensure the stability of supply in the market. More details in the following report by Sultan bin Saif Al-Sarai.
His commitment, conviction and courage were instrumental in securing the adoption of the
OPEC and non-OPEC oil-producing countries have gathered today in Muscat in the 7th meeting of the Joint Ministerial Monitoring Committee to discuss the latest matters of the oil market. The meeting's main outcome stated that 2018 is the year of rebalancing the global oil market by continuing to reduce the production by 5% for each country.
We have agreed to continue the course on what we have agreed last year, and the agreement today was to continue until end of the year, and then the review will be conducted by all those who signed the agreement on what needs to be done in 2019, if any. But that will come towards the end of the year, inshallah.
The current global market condition states that 1/3 of the oil surplus still exists. Therefore, the keenness to reduce the production is happening. The ministers during the meeting stressed the need to continue this joint cooperation after the extraordinary conformity and cooperation by OPEC and non-OPEC oil-producing countries, which resulted in a notable recovery in the oil prices last year.
We think that 2018 will require continuous conformity by all countries, and there was unanimous agreement that we'll continue to work in 2018 just like we did in 2017. The agreement is valid until December, and we're going to push through until December, and you will see continued market strength and return of confidence to the industry.
The discussion of the meeting went beyond 2018 and touched the future of the oil prices in the coming year and confirmed their commitment to a stable and balanced oil market and underscored the importance of other oil-producing countries joining their effort, where it is expected that the oil price this year will be around $65 to $70 per barrel. OPEC agreement resulted in a positive results that led to a recovery in the oil prices around the world, and the Sultanate confirming its total commitment in reducing oil production. Sultan bin Saif Al-Sarai, Muscat.
The Omani deep-rooted history dates back to more than 5,000 years BC, where it witnessed a number of civilizational events that contributed in varying the Omani culture. Oman was a trade center between the ancient civilizations in the region, where it was known with a number of different names such as Majan, which was related to shipbuilding and copper smelting, according to the Sumerians. The Omani history is rich with various achievements and intellectual wealth that contributed in building in the Arab and human civilizations through a number of scholars and writers in various fields. The history of Oman narrates the tale of bravery, glory, wisdom, love, and devotion for the country which led to the existence of the modern Sultanate of Oman. A new set of artifacts comprising of arrowheads and bronze snakes had been discovered at the archaeological site of Jabal al-Mudmar in the Wilaya of Adam. Our reporter Saleh bin Khalfan Rahbi found out more about the project in the following report.
Mars Analog Field Simulation, a project that the Sultanate is preparing to host, aiming to serve global welfare and common research interests, and to support international efforts in space and scientific explorations.
The main focus will be introducing space science, astronomy, astrophysics to Oman. And above all, we need to have this to ignite the minds of the young generation of Oman, and also to prepare them for the future. I think if we can cover that part, we'll be very happy, and it will also put Oman on the map of education, research, and innovation.
Oman is chosen for the implementation of this project as per a decision made by the Austrian Space Forum. The selection process came after a strict global competition based on a set of criteria and requirements set by the Forum for a successful accomplishment of this mission.
The Sultanate has been selected among the 19 countries, been shortlisted by the Austrian team, and Oman was selected to be the best place or the best geography place for these experiments, experimenting live on Mars planet. And PDO concession, which is next to Marmoul, has been selected to be the best in Oman, that almost 99% similar to the planet area.
Her Excellency Dr. Madiha bint Ahmed Al-Shibaniya, Minister of Education, announced the results of Scouts and Guides Excellence Competition 2016-2017. Scout and Guide Commission in the Governorate of Muscat obtained the first place in Sultan Qaboos Grand Scout Cup. The Governorate of South Baltina came the second, while the Governorate of Dakhiliya achieved the third place in the competition. The Public Authority for Consumer Protection recalled more than 700,000 vehicles during the previous 5 years due to manufacturing defects. The recalling came to protect lives of consumers and preserve their money, in addition to limit traffic accidents on roads. The Public Authority for Consumer Protection stressed that recalling reform defective parts, replace them or withdraw the vehicle and compensate the consumer with new one. From other side, consumers stress necessity to follow up all imported cars to the Sultanate by concerned bodies and ask to create special mechanism for car checking before marketing locally in order to make sure they are free from defects. The first station for charging electric cars in the Sultanate was inaugurated in the Wilayat of Sohar in the Governorate of North Baltina. The inauguration came in line with the Sultanate's approach to clean energy in order to limit carbon emissions. The second station will be inaugurated in the Governorate of Muscat. The availability of electric cars enhanced the government's vision to preserve environment, in addition to conduct researches related to electric charging operations and to measure the effectiveness of the charging devices. Still to come, our news bulletin. Oman from the Sky is a pavilion for Omani photographs at travel and adventure show in Washington. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The Prime Minister of Iraq's autonomous Kurdish region, Nechirvan Barzani, met with the Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, Ali Shamkhani, in Tehran today. This is the first visit by the Kurdish official after a landmark referendum in September when Iraq's Kurds voted overwhelmingly in favor of independence from Iraq. Iran opposed the vote, as did the central government in Baghdad and Turkey. Officials say Barzani is also expected to meet with Iran's President Hassan Rouhani and Parliament Speaker Ali Rajani. U.S. Vice President Mike Pence defended President Donald Trump's move to declare Jerusalem the capital of Israel during the meeting in Amman today with Jordan's King Abdullah II. King Abdullah expressed his support for the two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, with East Jerusalem as the capital of an independent Palestinian state, but living side by side with secure and recognized Israel. Trump's Jerusalem decision has infuriated the Palestinians, who accused the U.S. of siding with Israel and say Trump cannot serve as a mediator. Pence said the U.S. is committed to restarting the peace process. The meeting was part of Pence's first tour of the region. Turkish military tanks near the Turkey-Syrian border were firing into the Afrin area of northern Syria today as part of the Turkish offensive into the Syrian Kurdish enclave. The operation, codenamed Olive Branch, came on the heels of sharp threats from Turkey's leaders. Afrin is controlled by Syrian Kurdish militia, the People's Protection Units, or YPG, which Turkey views as part of the Kurdish insurgency in its southeast. The YPG forms the backbone of the Syrian Democratic Forces, the main U.S. ally against the Daesh group in Syria. The Prime Minister bin Ali Yildirim said the Turkish ground offensive could begin today. Back in the Sultanate, reviewing fields of existing military cooperation between the Sultanate and the United States of America was the core of discussions by His Excellency Said Badr bin Saud bin Harib al-Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defense Affairs, when he met at his office at Beit al-Falaj camp Lieutenant General Michael X. Garrett, Commanding General of U.S. Army Central, Chief of Staff of U.S. Central Command, currently visiting the Sultanate. The existing bilateral relations between the two friendly countries and matters of mutual concern were the main topics discussed by His Excellency Said Badr bin Saud bin Harib al-Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defense Affairs, when he met at his office His Excellency Andramani Pandey, Indian ambassador accredited to the Sultanate. Discussing military matters between the Sultanate and the United States of America were the main topics touched upon Major General Ahmed bin Harith al-Nabhani, Chief of Staff of Sultan's Armed Forces, and Lieutenant General Michael X. Garrett, Commanding General of U.S. Army Central and Chief of Staff of U.S. Central Command, and his delegation in Muaskar al-Mustafa. Major General Maltar bin Salim al-Blushi, Commander of the Royal Army of Oman, received at his office Lieutenant General Michael X. Garrett, Commanding General of the U.S. Army Central, Chief of Staff of U.S. Central Command, and his delegation. During the meeting, they exchanged points of view in military matters of mutual concern. The Ministry of Sports Affairs announced that the registration process for the ministry's Youth Achievements Award is opened in its third edition this year under the theme Our Achievements. The award supports youth and instills the culture of competitiveness among them in order to represent the Sultanate at international events. The award in its third edition aims to activate communication channels between youth and the bodies concerned in order to introduce various programs and governmental and civil plans which support youth and their achievements. The award inspired its goals from His Majesty the Sultan, thoughts of who emphasizes on the youth role in pushing the wheel of development and their active participation in the blessed renaissance being witnessed by the Sultanate in all fields. The Sultanate, represented in the National Center for Statistics and Information, achieved a Global Spatial Leadership and Excellence Award for the National Infrastructure Program for Geographical Information as the best means to enhance economic growth. The award is granted for bodies that utilize best modern policies and technologies at a global level in order to serve local communities and citizens in their respective countries. The prize was handed over to the Sultanate during the ceremony, which was held on the occasion of the conclusion of World Spatial Geographical Forum convened in India. Consumer guidelines application related to the Public Authority for Consumer Protection obtained for the third time in a row the Arab Smart Government Award in its 9th round on the category of smart applications. The consumer application is considered as one of the important services provided by the authority to be a communication bridge between it and the consumers in the Sultanate. Nama Holding Group announced that it had appointed advisory bodies to help the privatization process of a number of companies affiliated to the group based on the governmental directives. The targeted list includes Muscat Electricity Distribution Company, Majan Electric Company, Mazoon Electricity Company, Al-Wafar Power Company, and Oman Electricity Transmission Company. The Sultan participated in a travel and adventure show in Washington in the United States of America. The participation was represented in the photography exhibition entitled Oman from the Sky to promote for the touristic potentials in the Sultanate, especially in terms of adventures. The exhibition witnessed a participation from more than 1,000 bodies as the Sultan's pavilion attracted a wide number of visitors to get acquainted with its natural beauty and wealth, as well as geographical and historical aspects. This participation came within the framework of supporting tourism promotion, marketing and investment programs, as the efforts by the Ministry of Tourism and Oman Air played a great role in this field. This is the Sultan of Oman television. Before tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The OPEC and non-OPEC member countries stressed the need for reducing oil production in their meeting in Muscat. Scouts and Guides Commission in the Governorate of Muscat obtains first place in the Grand Scout Cup. The history of Oman dates back to more than 5,000 years BC as a trade center between the ancient civilizations. More than 700,000 vehicles are recalled in the past 5 years due to manufacturing defects. And first electric cars charging station is inaugurated in Sohar. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin from all of us here in the newsroom and the studios. Thanks for watching. Good night.